What is inflation and how does it affect you? Inflation is the gradual increase in prices over time, which leads to a decline in the purchasing power of money. In other words, as prices go up, each dollar you have buys you less. This affects everything, from your groceries and gas to your rent and savings. What causes inflation? Inflation doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's driven by a few key economic forces. Demand-pull inflation. When demand for goods and services exceeds supply, prices rise. For example, when everyone rushes to buy a product and there's not enough supply, sellers increase prices. Cost-push inflation. When production costs increase, like wages, materials, or fuel, companies raise prices to maintain profit margins. This pushes prices higher for consumers. Built-in inflation. When people expect inflation, they demand higher wages to keep up. Businesses then raise prices to afford those wages, continuing the cycle. How is inflation measured? Governments and economists use different indexes to track inflation. Consumer Price Index, CPI, measures the average price change of a standard basket of goods and services like food, housing, and transportation. Core inflation excludes volatile items like food and energy to show more stable trends. Producer Price Index, PPI, tracks the average change in selling prices received by domestic producers. When these indexes rise, it's a sign that inflation is increasing. How inflation affects you. Whether you're aware of it or not, inflation touches nearly every part of your life. 1. Decreased purchasing power. As prices go up, your money loses value. If inflation is 5% and your income doesn't increase, you're effectively able to afford 5% less than before. 2. Wages may not keep up. If salaries lag behind inflation, your real income drops. Even if your paycheck increases slightly, your actual lifestyle might shrink. 3. Higher cost of living. From food and rent to utilities and healthcare, everyday expenses rise. Budgeting becomes harder when prices change faster than income. 4. More expensive loans. To combat inflation, central banks often raise interest rates. That means higher costs on credit cards, mortgages, car loans, and business financing. 5. Market uncertainty. Inflation can shake up the stock market. Higher costs eat into company profits, affecting stock prices. Some industries, like tech or retail, may struggle more than others, like energy or commodities. 6. Retirement and savings. Impact. Inflation erodes the value of savings. If your savings earn 1% interest but inflation is 3%, you're losing money in real terms. How to beat inflation. Here's how you can protect your finances and even thrive during inflation. 1. Invest smartly. Investing is one of the best ways to stay ahead of inflation. Historically, the stock market provides average returns that outpace inflation. Index funds, mutual funds, and ETFs are great tools for beginners. 2. Use high-yield savings accounts. Keep your emergency fund in an account that earns interest above inflation, if possible. While returns won't be huge, they'll minimize loss of value. 3. Increase your income. Ask for raises, build side hustles, or learn high-income skills. Growing your income faster than inflation keeps you ahead of rising prices. 4. Cut costs. Where you can review your spending and identify areas to cut back. Cancel unused subscriptions, shop smarter, and cook at home more often. 5. Own real assets. Assets like real estate often rise with inflation. If you own a rental property, not only does the property value usually go up, but you can also increase rent over time. 6. Consider inflation-protected securities. Invest in TIPS, Treasury inflation-protected securities, or I-bonds, which are specifically designed to keep up with inflation. A quick example. Let's say you have $10,000 in a regular savings account earning 1% annually. If inflation is 3%, in 10 years, you'll technically have $11,046, but your money's buying power will be worth only about $8,500. That's a real loss of $1,500 in value. Frequently asked questions. Is inflation always bad? Moderate inflation, around 2%, is normal in a healthy economy. It encourages people to spend and invest rather than hoard cash. Who benefits from inflation? Borrowers with fixed-rate debt. They repay in cheaper dollars. Asset owners, stockholders, and landlords often benefit. Governments. Inflation helps reduce the real value of public debt. Who loses? During inflation, savers with low-interest accounts, retirees on fixed incomes, low-wage workers whose salaries don't rise fast enough. Final thoughts. Inflation is often seen as an invisible force, but its impact is very real. From the prices in your grocery cart to your retirement savings, inflation shapes your financial life every day. Understanding how it works is the first step to protecting yourself from its downsides and possibly even using it to your advantage. By